This is a story about Crumble, a big shaggy dog who lived in a house with her mummy, daddy, and two sisters. Crumble didn't realise she was a dog. Why would she? Nobody had told her. Her sisters were human, so she must be as well. The fact that she ate different food, went to the toilet in the back garden, and slept downstairs was because she was the most special and important person in the house. Well, that's what she thought. Crumble loved going for walks with her family, and her favourite game was chasing birds. She would sneak up slowly and then pounce on them like she had seen the cats doing in her garden. Of course, she didn't catch any. She was too big and clumsy for that. Some days, Crumble would get to go to school with her sister, Lucia. Her mommy had told her that she was a pat dog and that she helped people in therapy and making children feel better. Crumble simply assumed that being a pat dog meant she could lie down in class and get lots of fuss from the other boys and girls. This was much better than having to learn stuff like the other boys and girls had to.
You're such a good doggy. Look at that tail go.
The mummy and daddy explained to her that some boys and girls were frightened of animals, and Crumble helped them relax and feel better. Sometimes it took time for the other boys and girls to get used to Crumble, but by being brave, they soon got used to her, and over time they became best classmates.
We love you, Crumble. You are such a good girl.
When she wasn't at school, Crumble's favourite time was the weekend. This was because she got to spend the whole day with the family. Sometimes, if she was lucky, the whole family would go to the seaside, which gave Crumble the chance to run up and down the beach chasing seagulls. This was one of those weekends.
Look at Crumble go. He's almost got one.
After spending the morning running up and down the beach, it was lunchtime, so the family decided to go for some fish and chips in the harbour. Because Crumble was the most special person in the family, she didn't get her own bag of chips. She did get to eat from everyone else's bag. Only she could do this. After lunch, they all had an ice cream and sat on the harbour wall looking at the lovely boats. The family started pointing out all the different coloured boats and shouting out their favourite colour. Lucia, who was Crumble's older sister, stood up to look at the beautiful blue boat she had seen. As she did so, a seagull swooped down from a nearby rooftop and pinched her ice cream. Lucia shouted and chased after the seagull, but as she did so, she tripped over the harbour wall and crashed into the sea below.
Crumble, help me. I can't swim.
Everyone sitting on the harbour wall immediately jumped up and ran to the steps leading down to the sea. Crumble ran over with everyone else and she was very frightened. You see, Crumble had never told anyone this, but she was very scared of the water. She didn't want to jump in, but she knew her sister needed help.
Somebody get help. Look, Crumble. She is going to jump in.
Crumble then remembered her classmates back at school, and that apparently some of them didn't like animals, but because they had been brave, they had overcome their fears and now they loved animals. Crumble then took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and before anyone had the chance to do anything, she jumped in as far as she could into the sea.
Help! I can't swim. Look, the dog is going in. Swim, boy, swim. Hooray! He's got her.
The sea was very cold, but luckily Mummy must have put a fur coat on Crumble before they went out, so she soon warmed up. She looked round and saw her sister clinging onto the harbour wall, so she paddled like crazy until she reached her. Lucia threw her arms around Crumble, who grabbed her sister by the collar and swam as hard as she could until they reached the steps where everyone was now watching.
Well done, Crumble. You have saved Lucia. What a good girl.
A big crowd were now watching and waiting at the top of the steps. Lucia's daddy had also jumped into the sea to help, but when he saw Crumble had saved Lucia, he waited at the bottom of the steps to help lift them both out. Lucia got pulled out first, and then it was Crumble's turn. Lucia got wrapped in a blanket, but Crumble felt the urge to have a good shake, and as she did so, she soaked all the people who had gathered round. Everyone laughed and started patting and stroking Crumble. It was like being back at school again.
Well done, Crumble.
As everyone drifted off after the drama, Lucia ran over to Crumble and gave her a massive cuddle. They were best friends anyway, as well as sisters, but this brought them even closer together. "Thank you for saving me," said Lucia. Crumble hadn't learnt to talk yet, so she gave Lucia a massive wet slobbery kiss in return.
I love you, Crumble.
On the long journey home, Crumble thought about lots of things, but mainly she thought about how if you try and overcome your fears, the things that make you scared in the first place aren't actually that scary at all. Crumble then fell asleep. Well done, Crumble. You saved the day.
Well done, Crumble. You really saved the day.